Hello, happy Sunday evening. I am back at it again, and we have a very special, relaxing, quick, and easy video for Angela Wonderworld, aka Zaine. And she has requested to make the cool blue flower on her profile pic. And if you don't know, they're like this big. Of course, we got the artist eye. You can kind of look and just let your imagination run wild. And so I thought, well, we just did a real technical drawing about a 3D car. So now we're going to loosen up a little bit. And we are going to make a really pretty natural flower and talk about coloring with pastels. So we are going to get into the creation station and check it out. Alright, so for tonight's video, I am choosing landscape orientation, although you could go portrait if you want to. And it's all about the colors tonight, so we're going to get into that shortly. I'm going to simply start with Sharpie, with the flower being all natural. I like to just go for it. So we're going to start with a center of some type. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some really nice little kind of pollen spores in here, and I'm going to just do like 3 of them. And I'm going to do kind of a wavy star shape. So we're going to do about 5, what do you call them? Arms, points, 5 little points to our star, and they're going to be guides for where our leaves are going to come off. And I'm going to go kind of big with the leaves tonight. So I'm going to start down here and then think about I'm going to think about kind of a dogwoody kind of leaf. That's sort of what I was seeing in the profile pic. I couldn't exactly nail it down, so I'm going off of sort of what I have seen. And hopefully it's pretty close, and hopefully you like it. And you can always scientifically draw the actual flower a little more accurate if you wish, in case this one is different from what was expected. But you can use hopefully some of the techniques that you're learning here. When we get into the pastels, so I'm going to get a little bit more to kind of wave in there, and then I'm going to try to tie the shape in like that. So I like what we've done there. I think that is a nifty little start. I think it's important to maybe think about where this is coming off of. So maybe we'll have like a little stem here, and I like the idea that maybe there is a leaf. So I'm going to add a leaf form in here, and we'll do something as far as coloring that. Getting a little shape in. I'm kind of getting a little inspiration from my Hawaiian flower that we did earlier this week. And I'll sort of work this one down and maybe have another leaf kind of coming out like that. So just sort of, coming off of our page, we'll have like a little bit of color sort of fading out. All right, and there we go. So we'll have it right here, and then maybe I'm just gonna get a little part of another flower sort of coming in there. We'll call that the end of it. Okay, so we're gonna focus in here though. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw big old Whoa Daddy right on there. Sort of use the space in your artwork. When you think about how you like to sign your work, I like to throw it in a spot that sort of, it anchors. And it's a decision you make for how you want that to look. It's entirely up to you. So in the very center, we're gonna go precious purple here. Real kind of precious, deep, rich color. All right. what I'm gonna do around that is I'm gonna do red on the edge. I'm just gonna kind of, however I can press down hard, it's gonna fill it in with red. So if that's good, cool. We're gonna do a little bit of pink, tying it in. I'm just using the pink to blend between the red and the black space that's separating the purple. So we have a nice little nuance of color in there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna work in our center. We're gonna do a little touch of pink to kind of show how that pink had sort of some prominence in the center because it's kind of hard to see with the red. And pink, you know, is a shade that comes out of the purple, but so is blue, which is going to be our dominant color here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fair bit of white and I'm just going to kind of fill with some white. All right, so I'm going to go a little bit into the pink, and then I'm just going to kind of fill, say, a little more than halfway on most of them. And this is a fun technique because when you're using white with materials that blend, or like if you were using white crayon and paint, you get all sorts of neat effects if you're using white on black paper. It's a lot of fun to work with. It's kind of magical because sometimes you don't see it until it's meant to be there. And right now, I can kind of see it because it's up close, but you at home might have a more difficult time. Now, since I have the variety, I'm going to use it, and I'm just going to do a nifty blue along the edge. All right, so we're going to get just sort of a nifty blue, and then you could create a level of balance if you want more blue on one side or less blue on one side. If you want to start working in shadows and things like that, that's entirely up to you. I'm trying to do this as though it were a studio portrait, so we're keeping it pretty even throughout. All right, and now we're gonna start blending in the light. So what I'm doing is I'm just sort of taking the light blue and sort of work it into the dark blue, into the empty space, and then into the white. And you can see how it sort of transforms as the color moves. So this is a lot of fun. We're gonna go ahead and just sort of go around here, and we're gonna go into the dark blue first, back into the middle section, and then blend into the white. And we end up with this really, really lovely effect. And I'm not gonna go too much because I can always get back in there with my finger a little bit later on. So again, I'm gonna go into the dark blue, into the empty space, and then into the white. And when I move into the white, I really try to focus on moving like inward and outward into the flower. So you get this nice kind of growing look. When I'm going along the edge, I'm sort of going side to side. And that's one of those things as an artist is like your technique or your fingerprint or your imprint is left in how you move, where you move, what materials you're using. And so when you get in there toward that center part, if you show that you're moving towards the center, it gives the illusion that that is the way the flower is growing. Make the picture look maybe a little more realistic, a little more believable, okay? So we got some nice stuff going on there. Maybe I'll just get a little bit more into the white. If I want to smooth it with my finger, I can. But honestly, I really like the smoothing that I did with the pastel already. So, got a little bit of light green here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to search for a deeper color. For some reason, I don't seem to be finding my dark green, so perhaps I might use a little red or orange just to create some contrast on one side. So I'm just going to sort of have that contrast flow. I'm going to go ahead and mix the green in here. And I'm going to go right over the orange so it creates kind of a nice effect in there. Okay, we're going to get a little bit of yellow. All right, we're gonna mix some yellow in there. All right. And then I think I'm gonna do something to contrast with my purple. I'm just gonna do just a nuance of purple in here, you know, just something to kind of throw it off from the leaf. And then we're gonna mix that green in there. And that creates kind of a nice brown on the edge of our leaf, you know, because green and purple being so different, they'll create a brownish effect when mixed, because, you know, when we mix opposites, we get a nice brown. One of the great things about pastels too is you can kind of go over what you're doing. So if we want to create a little bit more contrast in here, I come in there with some red to really sort of make that side stand out. So I'm gonna go back in and finish this little leaf on the bottom. Okay, so a little bit of yellow running through the center there. And we're just gonna go ahead and tie together that corner with a nice rich blue. And we're gonna get really near the end of our artwork today. There's one more thing I wanna do. I wanna darken a little bit in these leaves towards the bottom. Maybe just a little bit more green up top so that it doesn't kind of visually take away as much. So there is our lovely profile pic for Zaine. I hope you all have had a wonderful time drawing your flowers tonight. It gives you some ideas for sort of what to do inside the middle, how to blend those colors, and have a beautiful, beautiful week ahead. See y'all next time.